Welcome back to Amy Explains. I'm still Amy Fox. For those of you who are hoping for a change, my thoughts and prayers are with you. This week, Marissa Rose Swift asks, how do we survive the death throes of capitalism? This show is off the cuff. Okay, so depends on what kind of like death throes we're talking about here. The current international system, which is founded upon a corporate-controlled, quasi-competition-driven economy that's backed up by statist concerns, tends to slam down on a lot of people in a lot of different ways. If we're talking about more of our like day-to-day injustices, then whenever possible, trying to fight for concrete legislative change is, in my opinion, the way to go. We need changes to minimum wage law. We need to make sure that people can access all the food that they need. We need to make sure we have daycares, medical support, and all these other basic facts of life are guaranteed. Facts of life, I mean essentials for life. Medicine, education, housing, food, whatever legislation is necessary to get those done on the municipal, provincial / state, national, and even international levels, that needs to happen. One of the most important things we can do is vote and get involved in political campaigns when they're actually running, and then, of course, keep pressure on politicians once they're in office. If we're talking about the actual like disintegration in a dramatic fashion because of the intersection of political and ecological crises that ramps up gradually, not a big fan of prepping. I think it's a much better idea to not cut your hand off with a bandsaw than it is to cut your hand off with a bandsaw, but know exactly how to get the ambulance here. This is my opinion. I mean, I play a survivalist on television, but Chris is not waiting for an apocalypse. Chris is sort of experiencing one on a day-to-day basis, and is responding in Chris's sense accordingly, which I can neither condemn nor condone because of the presence of certain international security apparati who hopefully are liking and subscribing to our channel. But in terms of like how to get ready for disasters, to make sure that there are a variety of community supports that are in place so that you can share whatever resources you need to. Growing your food sounds easy, but in practice it's actually extremely difficult. So making sure there's always a reserve of food on hand. Bulk ordering with other people. One form of a co-op that people don't talk about very much is an ordering co-op, where a bunch of people, this is an old like working class prairie tradition, get together to order food that doesn't spoil together, so they always have it on hand. And then the best way, of course, of surviving the death throes of capitalism is making sure that we just have another good system ready to go, hence getting involved in the government process, whatever that looks like. Thank you for the nice, simple question. I'm Amy Fox. This has been Amy Explains.